Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Thursday. It's time for a magic stuff. And today I'm going to be talking about something that you guys have been asking for a very long time, which is the flipper coin. This is going to be a how and why about the flipper coin. We're going to be talking about why you guys should learn to use the flipper coin. Now I'm going to tell you right up front, this is not going to be an exposure video. I'm not going to be exposing anything. I'll be talking about the flipper coin, but I'll be trying to do it in a way that if anybody watches this video and they are a layperson, let's say, or a muggle, they won't have a clue what we're talking about. But my goal is to try to motivate you and inspire you enough so that you start using a flipper coin, because really, honestly, every magician that works with coins should have a flipper coin. Now, before we get started, I just want to say that there's lots of places that you can look into routines with the flipper coin. Here's some things that you can look into initially to start you off with. Anything by Troy Hooser is good, especially his first book, Destroyers. There's quite a lot of material in there on the flipper coin. Another book to look at is Power Play by Mike Powers. He's got some great routines with the flipper coin on there. Eric Jones has some work on the flipper coin. You can see a lot of his stuff on the Metal series that came out through Illusionist. Dean Dill is a flipper coin master. I remember buying his Dean's Table, which used a flipper coin, which was amazing. He's got a DVD on the flipper coin as well. I think that came out through Bob Kohler. You can still get it. Anything by me, you know, I've put out a lot of material on the flipper coin. Any of those sources are absolutely fine. My first DVD that I ever produced was on the flipper coin. It was about 12 years ago now. And the flipper coin is an amazing product. It really is. But you've got to understand the right flipper coin to get. Now, realistically, there's three types of flippers that you can use. The first type of flipper is the old style flipper. The second style is kind of the flipper that Bob Swadling put together for the double deception style routine, which we'll talk about later. Let's just park that for a minute. And then the third one is the new style flipper, which is more commonly known as the gravity flipper. For any routines that you want to learn, any routines that I've seen that are half decent, you want to get yourself a gravity flipper. So the question is, what's the difference between an old style flipper and a gravity flipper? Well, first of all, what is a flipper? Well, a flipper is basically a coin gaff that allows you to have a coin, and then what happens is one side of the coin folds around, giving the illusion that there's two coins. It looks like there's two coins overlapping each other, and because it's folded around, when you let go, it will fold back round because it's normally held in place by an elastic band, and it'll flip back round and it will close together. That is basically what a flipper coin is. Now, the old style flipper coins had two problems with them. The first problem is the band, because it's held in place with an elastic band, a tiny little sort of dental dam elastic band, the elastic band ran around the outside of the flipper coin. Now, the problem with the elastic band running around the outside of the flipper coin is it wasn't really suitable for close-up. You couldn't inspect it because you'd see that there was this band. If you had a good look at it, you could see that the band was there. The other problem was it was very difficult to open. You couldn't just hold it by the edge and it would drop open. You had to shake it. You could always tell people that had an old style flipper in the old days, they'd do this to open it up. You kind of have to give it a shake like that. And then when you've opened it up, you would have to hold it at the fingertips because it would want to shut. The tension in the band would want it to shut, which means that you had to hold it there and you could just put it in your hand. So you couldn't open it secretly. You couldn't like secretly open it. What you'd have to do is kind of have it set beforehand by giving it a little shake, and maybe you'd have it open inside a purse and you'd take the two coins out apparently and drop them in the hand and one would disappear. So those were the three problems. The band was external. It was difficult to set up, and it would want to close. You couldn't lay it flat on a hand or on the table. So the gravity flipper changed all of that. Now, I am not getting into an argument as to who created the gravity flipper. Some people say Bob Swadling. Some people say Jamie Schoolcraft, and some people say Todd Lassen. All of them do amazing coin gaffs. I'm not going into who created a flipper coin and who created the gravity flipper. Let's just talk about what the gravity flipper is. First of all, the band is internal. So because the band is internal, when the flipper is closed, it is completely deceptive. It looks just like a normal coin. And in actual fact, and we'll get into this a little bit later on, I hand the flipper out for examination and people don't see a thing. Secondly, the second thing about a flipper coin, about a gravity flipper, is to open it, you literally just hold it at the edge and it will drop open like that. You don't have to do that shaking action. Which means, and when I first published my first DVD on the flipper coin, a lot of the routines were based on this principle, because I came up with the idea of showing two coins. This one would be a flipper, this one would be normal, showing the two coins, classic palming the real coin, and then as I apparently put the two coins together into my hand, I would open the flipper. So it looks like I've shown two coins, put them in my hand, but really I've got one coin over here and I've got an open flipper, so I can, boom, have the coin jump imperceptibly. So that's the second advantage. You can come up with ways of opening the flipper secretly, so it allows you to build it into a routine, which you couldn't do with an old style flipper. The other advantage of a flipper coin, of a gravity flipper, sorry, is that it will lay flat. So if I open up a gravity flipper and put it down on the table, it will just stay there. It will not close like an old style flipper. I can put it onto my hand, or I can put it onto the spectator's hand, and I can show that there's two coins there, or three coins, or four coins, and just in the action of throwing it up into the air, one of those coins will disappear. So this is a game changer now, right? Because now you can build the flipper into your existing routines. You can create multi-phase routines by incorporating a flipper into it, and they can be examinable. So that's the advantage of the gravity flipper. Now, I said that we'd put a pin in another flipper. There's another flipper called a double deception. And the double deception flipper, not to be confused with all the others, the double deception flipper is a flipper that's basically magnetic, right? And you get another magnetic coin with it as well. And by putting those two magnetic coins together, it opens up the flipper. And it's like an old style flipper in that it wants to close, but if you put the other magnetic coin next to it, it will stay open until you pull the coin away, which means that you can do an awful lot with a gimmick like that. The sort of traditional way of using this is to have it to go through a handkerchief, or have someone hold their t-shirt out and have it go through a t-shirt. In fact, just so you understand what the double deception coin gaff does, let's have a look at a performance of the classic bob swaddling double deception gimmick right now. Let's have a look at that performance. Okay, so I've got Sarah and Ryland here to help me. Ryan, do you want to check this handkerchief out? Make sure there's no holes. Are we okay?
But it's my handkerchief.
This is your handkerchief. I stole it off you. And is that coin okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
And is that coin okay? Are we good?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So here's what's going to happen, right? We're going to try and do something very strange here. I want you to hold on to these two corners, Ryland. One corner in each hand. Sarah, could you come over here? And I want you to hold on to these two corners. One there and one there. Perfect. And is that okay? Can we see on the camera, Sarah?
Yes. Good.
So here's the idea. So I've got these two coins that Ryland examined. And I've got the handkerchief. Just level it out a bit there, guys. That's great. So I'm going to try, I'm not going to put the coins underneath the handkerchief. I'm going to put the coins on top of the handkerchief. Do you see them there? And look, nothing in my hands. I'm going to try and pull one of these coins through the handkerchief. Nothing in my hands. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah.
On three, watch this. 1, 2, 3. And I can actually pull one coin through the handkerchief, no holes, right through the solid hanky. So that is a double deception gimmick, and realistically that's pretty much one of the strongest routines that you can do. I carry a double deception around with me all the time. It's available exclusively from JB Magic, and that's pretty much the routine that you do with it. Okay, so we're not going to talk about double deception anymore. That's what double deception does. What we're going to be talking about now is the gravity flipper. Now, you can get flippers in any type of coin. I tend to use a silver dollar, and I tend to use a $half depending on the routine. Now, let me tell you, first of all, the advantages of using a flipper coin. First of all, you have to understand that when you are doing coin magic, let's just take coins across, for example, right? If you're doing a coins across and you're not using gaffs, generally as a rule, to make the coins jump, you've got to put the coins in your hand, but you're really going to hold one back so you can make the first one jump. Or you might use an extra coin and you'd be one ahead, a little bit like Winged Silver by David Roth. Using a gaff means that you don't have that problem. You don't have to hold one coin back or have an extra coin. It allows you to get one ahead when you want to be one ahead. So in other words, let's say, for example, this one here is a flipper coin. Yes, it is. So say, for example, let's just put this coin up here for a minute. Say, for example, I've got 2 coins, right? And I put 1 coin over there. Now I've done that move. I've made that into, although it looks like there's 2 coins, there's only an open flipper, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to be exposing any magic on this. I'm not going to be exposing anything. But look how clean this is. You see 2 coins. You put 2 coins into this hand. You make a fist. And you can make the coin jump. It's very clean. It allows you to be one ahead when you want to be one ahead. But then anytime you want to, when the flipper's closed, you can show your hands are empty and you haven't got any extra coins. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's all well and good. But what about the shell? Doesn't the shell allow you to do the same thing? Well, technically it does. Because with the shell, you can have 2 coins and you can close your hand and you can have 1 coin and that's all well and good and that's all beautiful. However, when you are using a shell, you cannot make the focus of the routine on the vanish. And what I mean by that is if I'm using a shell, so let's say I've got a coin here and I've got a shell over it, I have to nest that coin onto that shell. And the way to do it is to close your hand or do it under misdirection, like, or kind of, you know, do a kind of a 3-fly type thing. Those are the only ways to do it. If I've got a shell, generally as a rule, I've got to nest the shell onto the coin. And then I can't very cleanly show, I can't do that and very cleanly drop the coins on the table because there's a shell on there. And if I do that, the shell's going to ping off, right? But what I can do with a flipper coin, and again, I've just shown you that, but I'll show you again, is I can very cleanly show 2 coins and I can make is this the flipper coin? I'm fooling myself here. Yes, it is. So I can make the emphasis on the vanish. And what I mean by that is if I'm doing a coins across, and I've got, well, let's say I've got 3 coins, okay? Let's say I've got 3 coins here like this. I can have the 3 coins on my hand, and I can say, watch those 3 coins. You're going to see the first one go right now. Boom. So you can have that first coin. You can have the focus on the vanish, and then we'll see that coin blink out of thin air and just completely disappear. It is a beautiful moment of magic, and the flipper coin is the only coin Gaff that allows you to put the focus on the vanish. In fact, let's have a look at me doing a coins across with a flipper coin now. I'm gonna show you a performance of me showing my kids a coins across, and I want you to see just how deceptive it is by using the flipper coin. Right, okay, so I've got Ryland here helping me. Hey, Ry.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. I've got 4 coins, all right? You're gonna help me, yeah?
Yeah.
What I want you to do is cup your hands together for me and put them right about there, both hands. I'm going to make these coins jump from my hand to your hand. One at a time, they're going to jump from here to here. When I pull on the finger, the first coin's going to jump. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch this. You'll feel it land. Say go.
Go.
See, there's the first one gone, and you actually feel it arrive in your hand. That's coin number 1. Keep your hands cupped together. Would you like me to do that again for you?
Yeah.
If you want me to do it again, I will. So how many coins there?
3.
3. And how many over there?
1.
Listen for the clink. Watch the 3 coins. That's the second one across. How weird is this?
Weird.
So we'll do it again. Would you like me to do it again?
Yeah.
So we've got 2 and 2. Keep your hands cupped together though for me, buddy. So how many coins do we have there?
2.
And how many coins do we have there?
2.
So I'm going to drop these 2 coins on the mat. And as they hit the mat, 1 coin will disappear and it will instantly appear in your hand. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And that leaves us with 1 last coin. Keep your hands cupped together for me, buddy. Watch the last coin. I'm going to hold on to this one. With this hand, just squeeze these 3 tightly for me. Can you do that? Turn your hand over. Watch that. You can put this hand on top as well. Watch the last coin. If I just snap my fingers, that last coin disappears completely. You're not going to believe this. Turn your hand over, open it up, have a look. 4 coins. How weird is that? So you can see how deceptive that is, right? You can see how deceptive it is. Each vanish, it allows you to be very, very clean. You know, you see 4 coins, and then you see 3. You see 3 coins, then you see 2. In fact, on my routine, on my flipped out DVD, I put a routine on which a lot of people perform called empowerment. And what empowerment is all about is it's the concept of empowering the spectator to do the coins across. So in other words, you show, and the routine is absolutely amazing, but you show the 4 coins and you get the spectator to do the vanish. And how do you get the spectator to do the vanish? Well, you put the coins in their hand. You say, you're going to make the coins disappear one at a time from your hand to that hand over there. Watch the first one. I'm going to pull on the finger. You're going to throw the coins up in the air. It's going to go. And that's what happens. Each coin disappears while the spectators are holding on to it, which is just amazing. Now, if you want to see that routine in action, I taught it on my At the Table lecture. An updated handling it on is on my At the Table lecture for Murphy's Magic. I actually teach the empowerment routine, so it's worth looking on that DVD for that. But you know, there's so many ways that you can do this. So say, for example, that you've got 3 coins here. What you can do is you can put the 3 coins onto the spectator's hand, and you can get them to shake it, and you can just have 1 coin disappear. I mean, there's so much you can do. There really is. And it just requires a little bit of audience management. In fact, regular viewers of this channel will know that one of my favorite plots in coin magic is sort of penetration routines where the coin penetrates through something. And I do a lot of penetration routines where the coin actually goes through my hand. And on my flipped out DVD, I actually taught a routine called flesh pockets, where the coins go through the hand, and it's a progressive routine. So you show 4 coins. The first one comes through the back of the hand. The second one, you see it pop out through the top of the hand. And then the third one, you put it in the spectator's hand and they feel it drop through their hand into their other hand. It's amazing, it really is. In fact, I'll show you a performance of that right now as well. Let's do a performance of flesh pockets right now. Right, okay, right, I've got 4 coins here, and I'm going to show you something really weird with my hand. I've got a flesh pocket in my hand. It's a hole that goes through the centre of my hand. There's a flap of skin there, and it allows me to pull coins through my hand. It's very expensive to get a flesh pocket. You've got to actually go to a place called Blackpool, the Magic Convention, and they do it there and then. But it allows me to do something weird like this. Watch the 4 coins. I can make a fist, and I can actually pull one of the coins through the back of the hand. Leaves us with 3. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Now, when I do this, you're too polite, but when I do this, sometimes people turn around to me and they say, well, I didn't see it go through. So I'll do it again with the next coin, but you'll see it go through. Do you see the 3 coins? Watch there. X marks the spot is right there. That's when the second coin goes right through. But you see it pop through, don't you?
Yeah.
Leaves us with 2. Now, let me have a look at your hand. Do you have you have a flesh pocket? Did you have to pay for that, or was it a natural one?
Paid.
How much?
I forgot.
Lots?
Yeah.
Expensive?
Yeah.
I'll take both hands. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to put 2 coins there, 2 coins there. Do you see them?
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can have this go through your flesh pocket and my flesh pocket. So I'm going to cover up these 2 coins. Now watch. Let me move your hand about like you're a little ribbit. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Look at that. The next one went through your hand as well. That leaves us with one coin. Let's see if we can do this the really hard way. I'll hold this one. You take these 3 in this hand and squeeze them tightly. Turn your hand over. Now take that hand, put it on top. I'll take my hand and put it on top. Watch this last coin. Through this flesh pocket. Ta-da! Through that flesh pocket. Lift up your hand through that flesh pocket. Turn your hand over. 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. There you go. Flesh pocket buddies. Boom. So hopefully by now you can see that there are a lot of advantages of using a flipper coin, but the best advantage is that you can hand these coins out for examination. Now, when I lectured for the Magic Circle, and just so you know, I know I've got my checkered history with the Magic Circle, but I was one of the very first people to go into the Magic Circle straight in at the Inner Magic Circle, AIMC. And I did it off the back of my lecture. I lectured, and on the back of the lecture, they asked me to be a member, and they said, we're going to put you straight into the Inner Magic Circle. And I did an all-coin magic lecture. And one of the routines that I did is I did some stuff with a flipper coin. And this was way back, right? This was about 10 or 12 years ago, when people hadn't really been using flipper coins. Everyone knew a flipper coin. When you think of a flipper coin, you think of a very impractical gaff that not many people use. And this was the first place that I lectured my concepts and my ideas with the flipper coin. And I fooled pretty much everyone at the Magic Circle. And the reason I did is because I had 2 very knowledgeable magicians sit on either side. And I said, hey, 4 coins here. Have a look at the coins. Check them out. And I dropped the coins into the spectator's hand. Now, the reason that I can have a flipper coin examined is because, A, if you've got a good flipper, you can't tell which one the flipper is. I can tell it's this one. But the thing is, what laymen will do if you give them a coin to look at is they'll do this. And if they do that, they're not going to see anything. The only way they can possibly expose how this works is if they hold it at just the right extreme edge, and it's got to be just the right extreme edge. On this coin, it's got to be where the head of the Statue of Liberty is. If they hold it down there, they're not going to see anything. Hold it down there, they're not going to see anything. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. If they hold it in the one place that it actually opens, then they'll expose it. And that's very, very unlikely. In all the years I've done this, no one's ever done that. But to further camouflage the fact, I just give them the 4 coins. I just say, hey, check those out. Have a look at them. Make sure they're okay. And I just throw the coins in their hand. Now, if you've ever given coins out to a layman to examine, and a magician as well, they'll just do this. They'll go, yeah, they're fine. That's all they'll do. But now they've examined the coins. Now they are, but so everyone else that's watching this, they're convinced that the coins are normal. They're convinced the coins are okay. But they're not okay because they've completely gaffed. But they've seen this person examine them and go, yeah, it's fine. So they think the coins are fine. And I fooled a room full of magicians at the Magic Circle because they thought I was using regular coins when in actual fact I was using gimmick coins. I was using flipper coins. And the reason that they don't give it more, you don't get people that do this, is because when you're in a performance situation, and maybe you're working a restaurant or you're working a wedding and, you know, you give these coins to someone to examine, they're kind of, everybody's watching them. They feel the pressure of wanting to move on. So they just go, yeah, it's fine. Well, it's the same with the Magic Circle. I was on stage. There were like 100 people, 200 people in the audience. And the guy I gave them to, he was just like, yeah, they're fine. Just move on. And that's perfect because that convinced the entire room full of magicians that the coins were normal. And now I can go into this mind-blowing stuff. So, that's my favourite thing with the flipper coin. You can have them examined at the beginning. And at the end, you know, you just put them away and you reset, ready to go again. There's no reset. It's not like a Scotch and soda or a coin unique where you've got to get a little magnet out or a bang ring out. There's nothing like that. You put them in your pocket, you're ready to go again. But the other nice thing is because you now understand that you can do this move, you can do like 3 fly with flipper coin. So you can I've just opened up that flipper coin, right? So I'm now 1 ahead. So now I can get myself into a situation where I'm doing a very clean 3 fly, where I take the 3 coins and I go, boom, look at how clean that is. Look at how clean that is. And now I can do it again. I can go like this. But because I've still got a flipper here, watch this, I can do this. Boom, you can have the second coin go across. And then the last coin, you can do it however you want to. It doesn't really matter at that point. I mean, I've got various different ways of doing that. But the point is, this isn't something I ever put on my original Flipper DVD. But, you know, the Flipper, what's it called? 3 flies, the holy grail for coin magicians. You know, it really is. Everybody wants a really good 3 fly. Well, look at that. You cleanly show 3 coins. You had them examined. You showed your hands are empty. You cleanly show 3 coins. The first coin jumps, boom. Then on the offbeat, you get yourself in position for the next one. The second one, in midair it jumps. I mean, and your hands, between each phase, your hands are empty because you're using a flipper coin, which means that your hands are empty when you want them to be and they're not when you can even go backwards at this point if you want to. Because you've got a flipper coin, there's more than one way to open a flipper coin. So I can do this and I can go back into this position and then I can go back over to this position and I can have the coin jump. There's so many different options and I can be 1 ahead when I want it to be and only when I want it to be. But the big advantage, I keep thinking of more big advantages, but another big advantage of the flipper coin is the ability to do coins through table. And coins through table is amazing because because the concept of a flipper coin is that the coins, when they're dropped onto the table, will close. It means that what you can do is you can do a very clean coins through table. And what I'll do is I'll show you that right now. So have a look at this video right now. It's the coins through table that I put on my original flipped out DVD. Okay, so the first trick I want to show you is pushing a coin through a table, coins through table. This was published on my flipped out DVD. Have a look at this, 4 coins. I'm going to try and make them go through the table 1 at a time. Watch the 4 coins, X marks the spot, that's where the coins go right through. This hand goes underneath to catch the coins, this hand stays on top with the coins. And if you watch that first coin goes right through the table. Now, you might have missed it. Most people do. So if you did miss it, I'll do it again for you. This time you know exactly what's going to happen. Watch. 3 coins here. 1 coin goes underneath. Watch the 3 coins. The next one happens right about There, that's the second coin gone across. That's coin number 2. 2 coins through the table. 2 here, 2 here. Now let me do this slowly, watch. 2 coins go underneath. 2 coins stay on top. Don't worry about this one, watch this one. This one goes just like that. That's coin number 3. That leaves us with one last coin. Now the last coin is the hardest one of the lot. Now this last coin, I'm going to put these 3 coins underneath, and I'm going to try and make this last coin jump up. Well, I'm going to try, I'm not going to touch the coin. I'm going to try and make that last coin go through, but I'm not going to touch it. Okay, I'm not going to touch it at all. Here we go. In fact, just for you, I'm going to go one step further. I'm not going to actually push that coin through the table. I'm going to have the other 3 coins go up through the table. How good is that, right? Now, let me tell you the one reason why people don't use a flipper coin. People don't use a flipper coin because they are worried of the band breaking. And it's something that is rightfully something that you should worry about, because basically a shell is never going to break on you, right? But with a flipper coin, that whole mechanism of the coin appearing and disappearing is done with basically a very, very tiny elastic band. So what happens when that elastic band breaks? Even the new flippers, like Mark Mason puts out flippers now that are meant to be unbreakable, because he uses, instead of elastic bands or dental bands, he uses sort of unbreakable elastic thread. They can still break. They can still break over time. They really can. And so the reason a lot of magicians don't use them is because they're worried about that coin breaking in the middle of a performance. So what I want to tell you right now is, don't let that scare you off. I would be lying if I told you that it never broke in the middle of a performance. I think there's been 5 times when a flipper coin has broke. In the thousands, the tens of thousands of times I've performed with a flipper coin, and trust me, nobody has performed with a flipper coin more than me. In the tens of thousands of times I've performed with a flipper coin, I would say that it's broken about 3 times. No, 5 times, I would say. Now, 4 of those times were not an issue at all, because 4 of those times I could tell that it had broken. And what I did is I always have an extra $1 in my pocket, and I could tell it had broken. It was either at the beginning of the routine or halfway through the routine. And so I picked up the flipper coin. I was holding it in place so that the elastic band wouldn't drop and it wouldn't all go to pieces. And I just did a very quick vanish, and I said, right, the next one's going to oh, hang on, that's weird. I think it's gone in my pocket. And I just ditched the flipper coin. I took out a regular coin, and I finished the coins across using just 3 regular coins or 4 regular coins in sleight of hand. The one other time, so that was fine, and that was just thinking on your feet. The one other time that the flipper coin broke, it happened in the spectator's hand. I was doing empowerment, and I had 2 coins in their hand, and the flipper just chose that time to break, and it landed in his hand, and it just went into 2 pieces like that. And I just looked at it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And all I did is I just reached into my pocket for my coin that I carry around with me, my regular coin, and I just made a joke of it. I was just thinking, I just own it. So I was like, well, they don't make American coins like that anymore, do they? There's a technical term for that. It's called a screw up. And I was just joking around with them. And I said, nah, it looks like this coin's broken, but it's just an optical illusion. And I just did a spellbound move. And it looked like I took this broken coin and fixed it. There you go. And fixed it. And I just dropped it into their hand. And I said, see, it was all an illusion. It's not real. Trust me, I'm a magician. And I don't know what that audience were thinking. I don't know if they were thinking, wow, that guy's really clever to get out of that one. Or if they were thinking, well, it was part of the routine. He made it look like it was broken and then he fixed it. I don't know. But that was the way I got out of it. You have to understand that things in magic will go wrong from time to time. And when they do, the best thing to do is just own it. As long as you're not pretending that this stuff is real and you can really make coins fly from one place to the other. I don't do that. My character as a magician is I openly tell people, yeah, I'm a trickster. I'm a con artist, but I'm going to do it with a smile on my face, and you're going to really enjoy watching me do it. And so, handling it like that is something that works for me. I'd be lying if I say that it's never going to break. If you start using the flipper, it will break from time to time, but it's going to be such a small percentage. It's going to be like 0.0001% of the time, and the rest of the time, you're going to absolutely smash it every single time, and the reactions are just going to be absolutely phenomenal. They really are. So I want to address one more thing, and the final thing that I want to address is how easy or difficult is it to use a flipper coin? Well, it's not that difficult at all. I use classic palm when I'm using a flipper coin because I'm very good at classic palming, so it makes sense for me to use a classic palm. You don't need to use a classic palm. You can use a finger palm, you can use a thumb palm. For all the routines that I do, you can substitute finger palm or thumb palm with classic palm and you'll be able to do them straight away. And on my DVD, which is very old now, but I talked about how you could do it with moves and concealments other than a classic palm. It's not that difficult to do. If you can do basic sleight of hand with coins, then you can use the flipper coin. And the flipper coin will give you more security than a shell. Because like I said, with a shell, with an expanded shell or even a non-expanded shell, that shell is on there loose. All it takes is for you to drop the coin or something to happen, and you're going to be in big trouble. The flipper coin is absolutely the best coin to use. You see, the bottom line is there's purists out there that say that you shouldn't use coin gaffs. My attitude is very simple. We owe it to our audience to do the best possible performance that we can do. We're only there for a few minutes, so I want to do the best performance that I can do. Now, if the best performance that I can do doesn't require a gaff and I can replicate what a gaff allows me to do with regular coins, then I will use regular coins, or I'll just use an extra coin or whatever it is that's necessary. And I do a lot of routines like that. But the bottom line is there's multiple routines where the best way, the more deceptive way, the most astounding and baffling way to actually perform that coin routine is using a flipper coin or using a gaff. And if that's the case, that's what I'm going to do, because I want my audience to get the best possible trick that they can get. Now, on the subject of other gaffs, and we've talked about shells. One other thing that I want to say is that you can combine a shell with a flipper coin, and you can do some amazing magic. I've published several routines that combine shells with flipper coins. I'm not the only person that's done it. Mike Powers has done it. Joshua J has done it. Troy Hooser has done it. I'm going to share with you a routine now that uses a flipper coin and a shell. And this is a routine that I put on DVD about 12 years ago. And it's called Flipped Out. It's actually called Flipped Out. And the advantage of using a flipper coin in a shell is you have, in essence, access to 3 coins that can be shelled down into one. So you can have a coin appear, you can have another coin appear, you can have another coin appear, and then you can vanish them just as cleanly, just by unnesting from the shell, using the shell to open up the flipper coin. You can do some amazing displays, and if you and you really can, your hands, you can do almost complete vanishes with every single coin. So the big tip that I can give you when using a flipper coin is combine it with a shell, because if you combine it with a shell, it opens up a world of possibilities. Have a look at this performance. This is a performance of Flipped Out. Okay guys, I want to show you something with a piece of nothing. Now you can't see that nothing, there's nothing to see, but if I take the nothing and blow, I can turn it into an American silver $50. Now let me do that again. There's another coin right there. If I go like this, I can actually make that coin visible. That's coin number 2. So we've got 2 coins. And let me do this one more time. This one here is coin number 1. This one here is coin number 2. And the last coin, it's right there. You can't see it until I shake it and that one becomes visible. 3 coins. Now watch, I'm going to make these coins disappear. Because they've appeared, they need to disappear now. The first coin, you squeeze and the first coin goes. That leaves us with 1, 2. Now let me do that again for you. Watch the 2 coins. The next one, you squeeze, blow, that one disappears, and that leaves us with 1 last coin. Watch as the final coin disappears, and that's all 3 coins. So there you go. In conclusion, what can I say to you? In conclusion, I can say that you absolutely should use the flipper coin. There you go. That's my big piece of advice for you. You should use the flipper coin. I'm hopeful that this has inspired and motivated you to be able to want to use the flipper coin. Whatever level you are with your coin magic, I promise you that the flipper coin will help you to achieve moves and sequences that you wouldn't have thought possible. Now, the one other question I get about flipper coins all the time is, am I ever going to release another project on the flipper coin? And the answer is yes. At some point, I will release another product. I haven't released projects in years, but I am in talks with a couple of different magic producers, and I will at some point produce another DVD or download or something on the flipper coin, but it has to be done right. It would have to be done a really deep dive. I'd want it to be a very long project where I talk about every single aspect of the flipper coin, how to reband them if they break, the best flipper coins to use, go down and break down the different moves step by step, like the ultimate guide to a flipper coin. So if that's it, it'd be a lot of work, but I think it would be a really awesome project put together. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in, let me know in the comments down below so I can say to the magic producers, look, this is something that people want to see. Let's see if we can make this happen. Outside of that, let me know in the comments down below what you think. You've been asking for this video for a long time. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe to the channel, and I will be back tomorrow with a magic rant. I'll see you again. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.